Welcome to my channel. My name's Bissy, and we know that the Vampire Lestat will air in June. And I have questions. If you're anything like me and you've been impatiently waiting for season 3 of Interview with the Vampire Lestat, then I think we can definitely be friends. Now, we have been spoilt lately with teasers and extended clips, and all of this has got me thinking about what exactly we're going to get in season 3. So I've put together my breakdown of the top 10 answers we need. If you're enjoying my videos, please let me know by hitting like and subscribe. And I'd love to hear your wish list down in the comments too. Okay, so with that said, let's get into the video. Number 10. What is Louis doing with the Talamasca? We can see that Louis sits down with Raglan and Rashid from the Talamasca. I love Rashid. In the same restaurant and what looks like the same table, he sits down with Daniel. We know that this takes place after both Louis and Lestat read the book. Daniel tried to contact Louis for a long time before the book was published. Plus, we know that Louis still didn't read the book as soon as he got it. It was on his coffee table for a while. We also know from season 1 of Talamasca that the Amsterdam branch of the Talamasca had editing control over a fair amount of the book. Not all, but they added at least one list of names that we know about. Daniel doesn't seem to be present here. So did this take place before or after Louis' meeting with Daniel? Or has Daniel just simply switched seats? What's the purpose of this meeting? I need to know. Number 9. Something like Devils Minion. Now, I don't know if we're going to see it, but I've got this feeling that Show Armand may have kept track of Show Daniel since 1973, but from a distance. Instead of exactly as it's written in the books, where Book Armand chased and followed Daniel around the world with his knowledge and would talk to Daniel, question him, and learn of human nature that way. Plus, they eventually fell in love with each other. I wonder if Show Armand stalked Show Daniel from afar all these years. Also, we know that Show Armand turned Show Daniel after he exposed his seismic lie. And we know that Louis and Daniel have a conversation whilst Daniel was promoting his book. It had already sold 4-ish million in as many months or so by then. Now again, this is in the show. However, what we don't know for sure, because we haven't been shown yet, is exactly when Show Armand changed Show Daniel. It may well have been that very same night in Dubai, but maybe it was a little while after that night, sometime between that night and Daniel's call with Louis. And if it was in the in-between and not on that night, did Show Armand and Show Daniel have time to develop something like the beginnings of the relationship they establish in the novel Queen of the Damned, Part 1, The Road to the Vampire Lestat, Chapter 4? It's just a thought I've been mulling over for a while. What do you think? Number 8. Who'll get hurt in episode 5? So, I've noticed a bit of a pattern. Episode 5 of each season so far seems to be the big episode, where someone, usually Louis, gets hurt. Maybe this season it'll be Nikki's hands being cut off, or maybe we'll see what led up to Lestat laying over the toilet with blood all over the place. I really can't imagine what the before is. Or will something happen to Louis again? I wonder. Number 7. Will Lestat be in the room with Louis and Bruce? Now, I also think that Lestat will be in the room with Louis and Bruce. Now, this is just my theory, but will Lestat, after whatever they do to Bruce, get on stage straight after? Now, in the photos we've seen of Louis and Bruce, it looks like they're backstage at one of Lestat's concerts. Louis seems to be wearing the same outfit from this photo as he is with Lestat in this clip. And, this is just me piecing things together, Lestat walking down the corridor with the hate and me on the bottom of his shoes. Have a look at his jeans and the boots. Now, have a look at his jeans and the boots here. I think they could be the same time. And this venue kind of looks like the same venue that Louis is in with Bruce. Now, Lestat looks like he hasn't had time to get fully dressed. I mean, the same outfit backstage and on stage doesn't seem very Lestat. I mean, it's just a theory. It really is just a theory. But let me know what you think. I cannot wait to get answers to this. Number 6. Will Louis have the cloud gift? Now, just like Louis practiced the fire gift with Armand, does Show Louis now possess the cloud gift? Or at least, will he exhibit it soon? In season 1, episode 6, Louis tells Claudia that Lestat told him, "You're either born with it or you're not." Now that may be true, but the gift does need to be nurtured and practiced. It also helps if you have a teacher. We know that Louis was made from Lestat, and we know that Lestat has the blood of Akasha, and the blood of some very, very strong and ancient vampires running through him. So maybe season 3 or 4 will show, or even end, with Louis displaying the cloud gift. Now, I'm basing this off of a theory that I've just been mulling over for a while, but I'm not quite ready to lay it all out yet. I haven't got my pinboard completed yet. But what do you think? I may be crazy. I may be crazy. This might be just completely tinfoil, but I have been thinking about it. Number 5, Lestat Spiral. Lestat seemed to be back on track and recovering from his time in New Orleans, from what we saw in the extended clip. He's moved to Montreal, leaving the painful baggage back in New Orleans, which is a very healthy choice in my opinion. He's creating music again, and he's back in contact with Louis. But we know this doesn't last for long, unfortunately. We know that Lestat will spiral this season, almost uncontrollably. We're seeing glimpses of some of the notes in one of his copies of Interview with the Vampire. This book, and Louis' words within it, are the catalyst. Now, the question I have is the majority of what we've seen of Rockstar Lestat so far all footage from episodes 1 and maybe even 2? How far will Lestat fall before he begins to rise? And will Gabriella be there to catch him? Number 4, a definition for going to ground. In the show, does going to ground mean a deeply depressed state, like we see Lestat at the end of season 2? Or does it literally mean going underground? Or could both be the case? The novel The Vampire Lestat starts with Lestat being risen from below ground by the sound of music, the garage band. He's then introduced to Interview with the Vampire by the band. I really hope we do get an answer to this. It's a small thing, but it's the kind of definition that really helps me understand the characters a lot more. Number 3, Bruce and Baby Jinx. We know that Baby Jinx will attend at least one of Lestat's shows. She's been featured in a fair amount of the trailers we've seen so far. She's even featured in the AMC thumbnail for the A New Interview Begins trailer. For those who don't know, Baby Jinx is a character that we meet in the novel The Vampire Lestat. And like most vampires, her turning is under exceptionally tragic circumstances. I think the scene with Louis and Bruce and maybe Lestat backstage is at one of Lestat's shows. So do Bruce and Baby Jinx arrive together with other members of the Fang gang? Also, have they given parts of Jessie's story from Queen of the Damned to Baby Jinx? Now, mini spoiler alert. For example, the getting on stage and embracing Lestat. If you'd like me to break down Jessie's story or Queen of the Damned, comment Jessie or Queen below. Number 2. Did Bruce create the Fang gang after Claudia's suggestion? Now, in the show, Claudia suggests that she and Bruce might form some sort of Fang gang. Is this how the group is formed in the show? I wonder if we will meet any of the other members. And number 1, Lestat's truth and his scars. There are so many versions of events that I want to hear directly from Lestat. For example, A, his and Armand's first meeting back in the 18th century, plus their time together back then. B, the trial. Was Lestat forced? If so, how? Remember, I'm speaking about the show and what we know so far. C, Lestat called the priest a hypocrite. I hope we get to hear his reasoning. D, now I would absolutely love to hear his side and perspective of his relationship with Antoinette. E, what are the scars on his chest? Have they been there all along? Or did Louis do more to Lestat than he led on to Daniel? Have they not healed fully because of Armand? I won't go any further on that because I don't want to spoil it for non-book readers. But this is the show, and we haven't heard any explanation about why he has these scars in the show just yet. So I would love to know that answer. F, what is this neck piece that I've seen in so much of the footage of season 3? I can't wait to find out its significance. And G, was that a British accent I heard from the fans in the background of Lestat's teaser? He also seems to put on a British accent when he says, you. But the list of dates for the tour seems to be exclusively America. We know that he is popular in the UK. We heard his music in the pub in Tanamaska. Now, before I finished this video, I opened it up to my channel members and I asked them what they'd like to know. And here are some of the answers. So Muska says they would like to know a definite answer to what happens during that scene with Gabriella and Lestat. Yeah. We need some context. I don't even know if context is going to make that better, but definitely we need an answer. What's Daniel's angle with Lestat? And finally, how is Akasha going to be introduced? Now, I cannot wait to find out either. And I would love to know what other questions you have. Please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.